everyone, I'm back and I'm here with Emily and Sebastian, and they're just recently graduated and done with the MSDI program from The Ohio State University.
No box.
Not sure if I can agree with that. But so I just wanted to interview them because I know my last video with what I wish I would have known going into the whole dietetic internship and application process was very popular, and I still get tons of emails and questions about what should I know, what kind of advice can you give me? So I just thought it would be awesome while I'm with these two at CPSDA to kind of get their advice and tips, and from a different perspective of some tips on applications and just the internship process in general.
So yeah, my name is Sebastian. I work with my brother Ben at ZornFitness.com, so you can check us out there. Originally from Berkeley, California, then went to Ohio State, 3,000 miles away, a lot colder.
Yes.
And next season I'll be working with the Chicago Bears.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then so we have kind of similar, kind of different stories. So I am from Ohio, from Cleveland, and went to school in upstate New York, and then got my MSDI in Ohio State for the past 2 years. So we're both just recently graduated, and I'll be working with the Chicago Cubs in a couple months.
Awesome. So you guys are both in Chicago. Mm-hmm. Nice how that works out. So anyways, just getting back to the undergrad, like I know for me, I didn't even know I wanted to go into dietetics until like sophomore year, and then I had to do the whole changing major thing. And so how did you guys prepare for senior year when the application process was coming? How did you become a good applicant for that, and any tips on just the whole application?
Yeah, so at Cal Poly, where I did my undergrad, we had a class actually where it sort of took us through, piece by piece of the application process, and that was a huge help. Beyond that, I mean, if you know you want to do it, you have to sort of do the research on your own. Reach out to people that have already done it. Reach out definitely to the directors of the programs that you want to go to. Reach out to former students of those programs. That's something I made sure to do, because you want to make sure that not only that it's a good fit for them, but that the program itself is a good fit for you. I think is almost more important. Don't waste your time. So make sure you're going to a place that really speaks to you.
Right. And yeah, my piece of advice would be do something that makes you stand out. So at Syracuse, I paired up with one of my good friends who was a communications major. She had access to all of the fancy cameras and all of that, and we both had a passion for cooking. So we did a cooking channel that ended up being on Syracuse TV. Yeah, wow. It was very fun. We're still on YouTube.
So what's your favorite recipe to make then?
Favorite recipe? I like things that are easy. And that are also healthy and nutritious. So I really like making those little energy balls.
Those are good.
Those are great.
No bake. You just kind of throw together
the best thing ever.
Right. Throw together a bunch of ingredients, peanut butter, oats, and you're good to go. You have a healthy snack wherever you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, I know the personal statement, one of my pieces of advice was to make it personalized to whatever school you were applying to. So if it was for me, at Florida State University, I said, I want to be there because of this, and it was more personalized to Florida State. Is there any guidance on personal statements that you guys have?
Let me think. Yeah, definitely personalize it to each and every school, and try to take their mission statement and sort of personalize it towards that. See how you can sort of insert your strengths and your personality in relation to that school. You don't want to sort of lie at all in terms of like, oh, I'm totally like this, when that's what they're looking for, just because you want to go to the program. But make sure it's a good fit for you and talk about that. Exactly.
Definitely.
Got to be an honest fit.
Definitely, yeah. And then also with the sports focus, again, with doing your research, but really showing them that you're passionate about this and that you know the culture around the school where you're going to apply. Because Ohio State, kind of a thing at Ohio State, you refer to yourself as the Ohio State University. Like, you do those things in your personal statement. You say things like "Go Bucks" and things like that. So just know the culture of where you're applying. Reach out to people who go there. I've had people message me on LinkedIn who are upcoming students and just ask me a little bit about Ohio State. So yeah, put in your time, get to know the places you're applying.
Yeah, definitely contacting people, like seeking out past people from that program that you're interested in, and just asking them questions, because you might think you're interested in a program that then they kind of shed some light on things that you're like, oh, maybe that's not for me, or something like that.
Yeah, they definitely give you more of the nitty gritty style.
The real life stuff that's not on paper,
which you
online.
need to know. Which you need to know. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So do you guys have any study tips for them? Because I know as you go into your junior and senior year, compared to all your other friends in college that are basically not even having to go to class, you're actually having to put in some work. So
yeah. Emily could probably touch on that better.
Well,
more students.
I think, and going off of that, I think it depends on what kind of person you are, what kind of student you are. Know what you are and know what you're not. In my case, I'm lucky enough to be someone who, if I have something, I have to get it done, I get it done. But I also have friends who it's been very helpful for them to schedule it in their planner. And even if you're not a planner person, it's super helpful. Schedule, this is my 1 hour of really hardcore studying. I'm going to do that every day this week before the exam. It just find what works for you and do it. Yeah, got to get it done. So.
And then one question I get all the time, and I think we might all be biased because we all did do the MSDI program, but everyone asks me, do I need to get my master's? Should I get it? I know it's going to be needed soon. What's your opinions on that now that you've been through it and gone through the whole program?
Yeah, I think honestly it's a good idea to get your master's because it's going to be required in a few years regardless. And I think it's more than just letters after your name.
Exactly.
I mean, it's the classes that you take, it's the connections that you make with your peers in those classes. And I think, research is such a big part of our profession as a whole, where it's going. So to really be on the forefront of that, I think a master's is invaluable to take it to that next level.
And I don't know about you guys, but it kind of just grew me as a person too. Things I learned throughout my master's and the ways I grew are completely different from undergrad. So, and learning the value of research, because I think that's something in undergrad I was like, I can just look something up online and tell people that this is how it is.
Yeah.
And I realized that as dietitians, we stay research-based.
Yeah.
And so...
Yeah, no, I think in grad school, I definitely learned how to take research papers and pick through them and say what's good about this, what's bad about this. There's no perfect research paper. And that's something I never really got in undergrad. So good piece to have from here on out.
Yeah. Awesome. And then I always end my interviews, kind of prepared them for this question, but only gave them a little bit of time to think about it. I always ask, what's one low time, what's one rut of your life that you kind of found yourself in, and then how did you guys get out of that, and how did you guys, get to where you are today?
Right.
So
first. Okay. So one rut for me was, and I hate to say it, but it was with the dietetics profession as a whole. In undergrad, there was very little sports focus, and it was all, you're either going to be food service dietitian, or you're going to be a clinical dietitian, or community, something like that. And then as I got to Ohio State and I'm going through my different rotations, I was not loving them. I wasn't loving my clinical one. And as I'm going through, I'm thinking, is this really the right career for me? But lucky enough, our program was sports focused. So once I got into the more sports focused rotations, I found my niche. And piece of advice, find your niche, find what you're passionate about. Because if you're doing something that you're not passionate about, it makes the days feel like years, and it's not no way to live. So find what you love and stick with that.
I love that. I'm all about following what you're passionate about and just being true to yourself, and having the realization and being strong enough to say, this isn't for me, but this is, so I'm going to go this way, even if it's not the typical path. I know sports is so new, and the culture of dietetics just in general, and so sometimes it can be scary to think, oh my goodness, I don't, I'm not liking this. I know for clinicals, for me too, it was kind of for me, it's just not the kind of population I'm wanting to work with. So I was is this, I don't know, this is really hard to get through right now.
But for some people, that's their sports. For me is the clinical, and it's great. Yeah, it just depends. And also keeping an open mind when you go into your internship. I know some people who started in the sports focus and went to their clinicals and absolutely loved it and found their passion. So keep an open mind.
Yeah, definitely. Love that.
Yeah, I'd say probably the biggest period of personal growth for me happened when I was actually a little younger. My mom passed away when I was 11 years old. So I have an older brother and my dad, and we sort of bonded together to sort of get through that really tough time. And she did all the cooking for our family, and I sort of helped with that. And so I sort of took over that role and became sort of the head cook, so to speak, of the family. And that's really where the culinary sort of love that I have grew. Awesome. Yeah, and it really takes something like that you grow up a lot faster, and I think I wouldn't be where I am today without that. As hard as it was, it gave me a gift of, do something that you love. One of the things she told me was always follow your heart, whatever that is, wherever you are. So even if you're, like an example of pretty recently, so we were doing our clinical rotations, and because we love sports, we're huge fans of clinicals, but we love sports, so we're like, we're doing that no matter what. So after our clinical rotations were over, we'd go volunteer at football until 9 or 10 at night, pretty much 6-7 days a week sometimes, just to make sure that we're doing what you love. Do what gives you energy, do what you're passionate about. I think that's really what I learned. And trust, have a few close relationships and make sure that you're there for the people that love you, because they're going to be there for you.
That's awesome. And I feel like, I know I always say this, it's not the easy times that make us better or make us stronger or shape us into who we're meant to be. It's the hard times, it's the ugly times, it's the times where we think, like, how are we going to get through this? And so I love that. Well, is there any last pieces of advice that you guys want to offer, or places where you want them to find you if they want to contact you or anything like that?
Yeah, Instagram at Zorn_fitness.
Gotta get that underscore.
ZORN_fitness. Check us out there. Or LinkedIn, Sebastian Zorn. Whatever.
There you go.
That works.
Yeah, for me, best would probably be LinkedIn. Emily Danckers, DANCKERS. Everyone forgets that.
And I'll link that all in the description too.
Yeah, wonderful. And last piece of advice, keep the big picture in mind. I think it's very easy to get caught up in the day-to-day, but keeping the big picture in mind, even if things aren't going as you might want them to, don't give up, because in one day, everything could change.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, guys, and have a good day. Oh, you're fine. You're fine. There's editing for a reason.
Yeah. Is wearing sunglasses okay? Or should I take them off?
Whatever you're most comfortable in.
Okay. Here we go.